Hey everyone, Barry's here. It's been a little while since the last Transformers Reactivate news roundup. If you're new to my channel, I like to make these videos either at the end of every month or around a week after a big news drop, just to quickly cover all of the information and give a brief rundown. Before I start this video proper, I just want to say that I will be taking questions from the comments and making a Q&A video, seeing as how we not only have gameplay, but also the first real news in like 3 months, so it seems fitting I make a new Q&A considering how many people are just getting back into the loop of Reactivate. And with that out of the way, the last couple of weeks have been pretty good for Reactivate fans, with gameplay leaks, some more in-game screenshots, leaked audio, and some rumors about potential new Transformers games. Let's start things off strong with the gameplay video that I already made a massive video on. Well, massive in comparison to the amount of gameplay that we got shown. This gameplay is monumental, as it's the first time that the general public has had access to unblurred, proper gameplay that isn't just characters' idle animations in a menu. However, this video is rather unfortunately from an extremely early build of the game, before the game was ported to Unreal Engine 5. Due to the age of the video, it does not indicate the quality of the game when it is eventually released. However, the general gameplay elements such as over-the-shoulder shooting, melee, movement, will all be relatively similar to the final build of the game. Along with this gameplay video, we also received multiple in-game screenshots of either that same build or a slightly different build. This is easily confirmed due to the appearance of the Legion being very bare bones and not resembling their current design that we've seen on promotional material. If I had to guess, this build was possibly early enough that instead of the Legion, these enemies would have been called the Corrupted. These gameplay screenshots don't exactly show us anything that we haven't previously seen before in other leaks, except for an early look at the New York zone, which seems a lot greener than the real-life New York. This makes sense, however, when considering that in the leaked intro cutscene, it is stated that the Transformers lay dormant for nearly 100 years, which is plenty of time for grass to grow. We are able to determine that this is an early version of New York due to the lack of Legion tendrils, which wrap around walls and objects in a much more noticeable fashion than what we can see here. A little while before the gameplay leak, we also got a leaked voice line from a human character. Have a listen.
I don't like these odds. I read an entire Legion War battalion funneling in from various locations. Destroy as many groups as possible, and then ground bridge back to base.
Unfortunately, we aren't able to glean much from this voice line. The character makes mention of a Legion army encroaching upon the player with orders to eliminate as many as possible before ground bridging away. I can assume that this voice line is somewhere near the end of a mission, with the current objective being to destroy a couple waves of Legion before the mission is complete. I'm mainly talking about this because I just want to say that I won't be covering these kinds of leaks in the future unless they have something of value to actually say. Otherwise, contextless voice lines such as these, which feature placeholder voice actors, really aren't anything to get too excited over. Lastly is something that doesn't necessarily pertain to Reactivate, but more so Transformers games as a whole. Recently, a whole bunch of people have been freaking out about this theory that Microsoft Studios is going to bring back the Cybertron games. There are multiple problems with this rumor. Firstly, Microsoft would never be involved in something so small as this, and the thought that they would be is ridiculous. Not to mention that the fact that the license for those games are shared between Hasbro and Activision. And I doubt that Activision is willing to sacrifice any staff when they're working on Black Ops 6 and Modern Warfare 4. The rumor came about after 2 new Transformers games were rated by an Australian ratings board, and this arises another problem. You see, I've done my research on this, and according to the very same ratings board, War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron are both rated M in Australia, so the ratings between those games don't even line up. If I had to guess, the 2 new games could possibly be Galactic Trials and maybe Reactivate, or maybe even another mobile game by Hasbro and Outright Games that they just made on the cheap. I'm looking at you, Galactic Trials and Battlegrounds. I know that we all love the Cybertron games, but I'm tired of these constant "it's coming to Game Pass next year" rumors, which get everyone all excited over basically nothing. And that's all the news that we've got of late. Thankfully, we actually have something after so many months of nothing. It's unfortunate that it's nothing official from Splash Damage, but at least it's something. We know that Reactivate isn't cancelled for sure, due to Bumblebee's toy being sold separately, so at least we know that the game is probably still in development. Another reminder that I will be taking questions from the comment section and making a Q&A video, so if you have any questions regarding Reactivate, leave them in the comments below and I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. And also, thank you all so much for the support on the first Lore for Cybertron video. I was skeptical whether or not that series was something that anyone was actually interested in, and seeing the amount of support that I've gotten from it is just, it has me really excited, and really, thank you guys so much. It's really nice to be back in the swing of things, and I'm excited to see what kind of Reactivate news we get next. Teleholler 1.